up, world? This is Total News Time Live, and I'm your host, Sway Daily. We're taking over the heart of Times Square, aka my butt, for the next hour, giving you the top 10 most requested news stories in the country. Do you like my sweater and this shirt combination? It's so 90s. And what about this Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper? Let's see, well, what else is nice? Gak, Sir Cola, Queasy Bake Oven, Gooey Louie, Dreamcast? Yeah. All right, that's enough. I'm not Ernest Klein. For those still watching, NT is covering MTV's TRL franchise and its inelegant RT to TV. From the years-old half-hour specials to its recent October return and its current April reboot, the new form of Total Request Live is less of a transformation and more of a, what's the opposite of a Super Saiyan? Hey, Dragon Ball Z, that's 90s, but 8 is enough. That was 80s.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
I could have used an O.J. Simpson reference in the cold open. It would have killed. Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White. This is the comedy news that you didn't know about. I'm so sorry. Back in the 90s, oh, do I hate myself for saying that, MTV used to be one of the most watched cable networks around. It was the only place to catch the latest music gossip and music gossip. Of course, you know that. Why we tread water already swam. More recently, the Viacom network has failed in its original conceit. The 2000s were not good for the channel. Music went on the decline as original shows, namely those of the reality genre, became the main focus. In the mid-90s, MTV began playing less music videos, 36.5% less according to Billboard. Then came faster internet and sites like YouTube, which also provided music videos, aiding in the already steep decline. Cut to this past year when MTV finally gets its stuff together and starts veering towards airing music on the main channel once again. It'd been relegating sister networks to do the heavy lifting when it came to music, and even then, hearing your favorite tune was reliably unreliable. Yet, 2017 was a major turnaround point for parent company Viacom. They took a stand against having their networks readily available on popular live TV streaming apps like Hulu and PlayStation Vue. They aired award shows you were trying to avoid across every single one of their networks, and they keep denying CBS buying out the company, even though they are having some serious cash issues. I didn't say it was a good turning point. Viacom, here's some advice from a guy with not much money. Take the buyout, please. For its network of networks, Viacom saw it fit to cut the fat and merge everyone into one team. I've spoken about this move earlier this year and how it changed the now Paramount-ruled Spike TV. The rejiggering of the business is further explored by doing what every other channel is doing: bringing back shows people used to love. Nostalgia is a drug that anyone can enjoy. ABC, NBC, and CBS are loving the attention from their modern reboots and rehashes. Yes, some may fail, but there are so many properties out there ripe for the picking. MTV saw it fit to tackle the TRL franchise once more. They already attempted a revival 3 times over the past 15 years, marking this the second in as many years and the 4th overall. The real return was over the fall of 2017 with a whole new crew of kids that only kids will recognize. Seriously, I'm only 25 and none of these teens are registering in my mind, but they all have a heck of a following online. Ratings for the new TRL were not up to par with what Daddy Viacom wanted, so the show went on hiatus for another retooling, only to be relaunched once again. But now, instead of the single half-hour afternoon episode, 3 versions of the show would be real: morning, afternoon, and late night, presumably hot and steamy. The change would go into effect as early as this week. While music does come at a rapid pace and music news even faster, there doesn't look to be a real need for 3 versions of the show. The morning show will probably play like the Today Show, but with music, while the late night one will more than likely resemble a late night talk show. I bet my bottom dollar that's how it happens. Starting this morning, actually, Sway Calloway will return to host Total Request AM. The show's premiere was pushed up from June in order to coincide with the return of the afternoon version, which which came back from forced hiatus today. There's a format change for the afternoon half hour, which has actually been stretched out into a 2-hour theme block. Total Request Late Night apparently launched in February and airs on Monday and Tuesday at 11, but will expand to 3 nights in the summer and 4 by the end of the year. Actually, I'm going to be frank here. I don't even know if this stupid show is coming back, because at the time of me writing this script, MTV hasn't updated their schedule, leaving reruns in place of each show's time slot. So we're basically playing by ear now. So MTV is ready to get back to its music playing roots. All of that being said, the new TRL is still seeing its share of bad news. Ratings haven't been what the network brass want, but don't let that stop them from bragging about how many teens are finally watching the network. We got hot teens watching our hot content. Getting Generation Z to watch TV is tough, yes, but retaining them is the most important part, and that's where the digital comes in. YouTube helped kill the TRL star, and now it's here to help. Like any TV property that wants to be successful, TRL uploads breakouts of the social video to the social video site. By my estimation, even that's not helping out. For one, they only have 210,000 subscribers, well below many of their correspondents' single social media accounts, yet well above C+ Comedy in total. Then there's the videos themselves. Nothing's wrong with them per se. They're only getting a few thousand views, if that. Again, that's way more than any video on this dumb channel. The only ones doing well are the ones with famous personalities. Of course, Cardi B is one of the few getting close to 1 million views, because no one hates her. After a few days post-relaunch in October, the whole shebang was taken as a failure from several outlets. Their biggest issue came a few weeks ago when showrunner Albert Lewitton left the program. He's the one of the main reasons the show managed to come back last year at all. Lewitton is a veteran of news broadcasting, having worked for CBS-SN, CNN, HLN, and ABC News. So probably return to that arena, more than likely. Did MTV really need to bring back TRL? Its original demographic are now full-grown adults who get their music and music news by browsing popular sites and subreddits. So not really. Times changed too fast for them to keep up. That's why G4 and Tech TV failed. The internet took their jobs. What TRL can offer is a new way for musicians to interact with fans. It's not as uptight as formal publications and more accessible than a 7-minute interview with a talk show host named Jimmy. That's the dream of the 90s is alive with MTV. And that's all the news I have for you for this week on News Time. Well, why don't you subscribe and check out one of our videos? Of course, you can always head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where there are so many great things that they won't come at you in a top 10 list. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast. Come on, it's free. And be sure to always have a thing to say at the end of the video.